I have some secrets.
Ooh,
I bet you got a lot of secrets.
To stuffing.
Ooh, to stuffing.
Secrets to stuffing.
Oh,
Do you
Thanksgiving
stuff
stuffing.
it? Well, you can do whatever you want with the stuffing. I'm going to tell you, once you make the stuffing for Thanksgiving, you're going to want it all year long. And I have a plan for that too. Oh, let's see. Okay, welcome back to Everyday Home Essentials. Okay, this is the episode that you need to click, save, subscribe, because this is going to save you some time now and in the future. This is the secrets to super and salacious stuffing. Now, before we get into any of my secrets, I got 3 big secrets for you. Let's talk about stuffing. Is it stuffing or dressing? Well, that depends on where you come from. If you're from the South, or your family's from the South, it's stuffing or dressing. How can that be? Well, some people just have this kind of bready filling thing and they stuff it into the bird and call that stuffing. Okay, what that does is it drains all the moisture from the bird and leaves it all in the stuffing, and that's the only thing that's good. That is not good. Now, where I'm from, it's called dressing because it dresses up the whole meal, and it's a whole complete meal within itself. So you don't even need a turkey or a chicken. The dressing is the meal. So depending upon where you are is what you're going to make. Now, here are the secrets, whether it's stuffing or dressing. Secret number 1, it starts with the utensils. Now, this here is the Lodge pre-seasoned skillet. It's cast iron, and they come in 3 sizes. I love these because, and let me tell you why these are important in the 3 sizes. When it comes to dressing, okay, the only recipe I have from my great grandma feeds 20. I have tried to make it smaller. I can't. But now I realize it depends on how much cornbread you make. So you have to make the cornbread first because that's the base for your dressing or your stuffing. If you make it in the larger pan, that's going to serve your 20. You want to make enough for 4 to 6, put it in the smaller. If you're going to say 8 to 10, do it in medium. But that's going to determine how much stuffing or dressing you're making, the size of the pan. And these are great because you get to keep them, they're seasoned, and they make everything taste great in your house. Eggs, bacon, I don't care what you're making. These are nonstick pans the old-fashioned way, and not only that, they put iron into your system and they're not killing you. That's right, they're good for you no matter what. So you're sneaking nutrition in no matter what, and they're going to make your cornbread taste amazing. You cannot make cornbread unless you make it in these cast iron pans. Hello, did you listen to your grandma? Okay, now second, we're going to go to the next thing. These are this wonderful bakeware set. I love this because it's a graduated bakeware set. It's beautiful. It goes from the oven to the freezer, to the dishwasher, to the microwave. It's great for everything. And they have different sizes. So if you're making the pan for 20 or a pan for 10 or a pan for 4, you've got total immersion there. I love these because no matter where you take them from the oven, they go straight to your table and they look great. They match your holiday decor. And they're nonstick. I love these. Not only that, but when you make your dressing for 20, what you need to do is, at the end of the meal, cut it up into big fat squares, individually freeze them, and stick them in a bag. That way, your husband can take out a little dressing every time he wants some. July, you want some dressing? August, you want some dressing. Take it out. It's right there. He loves it. And you have dressing all year long. So it doesn't matter if you make a big amount or a small amount, you've got yourself covered. Okay, so that's a good secret. The second secret is layer the flavor. Listen, I don't know if you're making your dressing or your stuffing from a box, but you cannot do that without layering the flavor. That means vegetables count, your onions, your celery, your shallots, your garlic, everything, it needs to be layered in there. And also, you're gonna put your spices in there, your sage, your bay leaves. This is how you layer the flavor with that cornbread. Also, you're gonna layer that flavor with your bread. You got some old bread in there, pumpernickel, rye, white wheat. You're gonna tear that up and you're gonna mix that with your bread. You're gonna have 3 different kinds of flavors permeating into that stuffing that's gonna make it sing. And of course, secret number 3 is the stock. Chicken. Now, my mother would get up in the morning on Thanksgiving and she put a whole chicken in the pot and she would just start boiling it. All of that stock went into her dressing, and then she would make her soups or her gravies, and that's how she started. But here's the secret. She would add a can of Campbell's chicken cream of soup or mushroom soup. It depended where you were. We like mushroom, we like chicken, but no matter what, you did this. Now, I tried many years to make my own cream of chicken or cream of mushroom soup to add that thickness and add that layer of flavor with my breadcrumbs. But a couple years ago, my kids came to me and said, listen, Mom, we know you're trying to be healthy and you're trying to cut calories and all that good stuff, but we want you to make our Thanksgiving food the way your mama taught you how to make it. So put the stuff in that she did, So I had to go back to the original, Campbell's cream of mushroom or cream of chicken soup. It adds that balance and makes it all congeal together. So these are the things that you're gonna do. If you keep these things together with your stuffing, you're gonna work with the cookware, you're gonna make that cornbread, light it up, you're gonna do that breading, 3 or 4 different kinds of breadcrumbs. You're gonna make those at home, by the way. You're not gonna get those in a box. Okay, you're gonna get your breadcrumbs, you're gonna put them on a cookie sheet, put a little butter, add some herbs de Provence with some oregano, stick it in the oven for 30 minutes on 300 degrees and let it dry out. You're gonna be perfectly ready to go. Your dressing's gonna be great. People are gonna be eating off of it all year round, and you're gonna be happy. So secrets to stuffing, start with the basics. Start with the right cookware and start with the layers of flavor. Those are your secrets. Everyday Home Essentials. Okay, did you get my recipe from that? That was real simple without giving you too much away because everyone has their own recipe, but those are the basics.
Yes, and I love that you addressed the difference between dressing and stuffing in that there is no difference.
Yes.
It's just where you come from and what you grew up saying.
Well, there really is because a lot of people think that stuffing is dressing, and that's not. That's just some stuff you threw in that bird to call it a day. Dressing is not a meal within itself. Dressing is a meal within itself. Stuffing is not.
Oh, sure.
You can just eat a whole plate of dressing because it has the chicken and all the vegetables in there.
I see.
Whereas the stuffing is just like this thing that held the bird together.
Well, couldn't you put the dressing stuffed in the bird?
Yeah, smart Black people do.
That's so when my mom makes her,
Makes sense.
we call it stuffing.
Okay.
When she makes it, she stuffs the bird with the bread, but all the vegetables, and she even puts like apricots in it, which is
Okay.
like really like,
Okay.
sweet, citrusy, and mixed in with the onions and the garlic and the celery, and stuffs the bird. But then she also makes another set of
Separate
it
dish.
too. Yes, yeah.
I
So
like your
that
mom.
when people who don't want the stuffing from the bird, they
That's
can
right.
have the other alternative as well.
Right.
Make everybody happy.
I love
Well,
that.
also the bird is only so big. If you're making
No.
stuffing
Yeah.
or dressing for
Yeah.
20 people,
Yeah.
you better have a big bird.
That's why you got 3 turkeys coming.
Yes, yes. I did have a question.
Yeah.
People at home might be wondering,
Okay.
totally not me, what do you mean by a pre-seasoned pan? Is there salt and pepper
Yes.
embedded
Oh,
in
Thank
the
you for
pan?
asking.
Okay,
What
Thanks
does
for
that
asking.
mean?
So cast iron is just iron. And so when you season it, you want to make sure that it is non-stick, and also it has the season. Okay, so my grandma would season her with lard. So you would take that fat and you would layer that fat in there, and then you stick it in the oven for 30 minutes on like 300, and that lard and that flavor would bake into that pan. Now it wouldn't come off in the pan when you're cooking, but the flavor would be seasoned into that. It would also make the surface slicker, and it's nonstick. So you don't have to worry about stuff sliding around. Those pans from the old days, you can flip those eggs over. That's what
Yeah.
you would do with that.
Gotcha.
So this pan is already pre-seasoned. Back in the old days, they used a lot of caustic materials to clean cast iron, so it would rip the seasoning right off the pan, and you wouldn't have anything. You just have like this basic like piece of metal that you're cooking with. So a lot of people would re-season their pans, but you could always do that. But I do it sometimes because my kids don't know what they're doing in the kitchen, and they'll like strip it. But now they don't make those oils and those things, whatever. You can take some coconut oil or your lard or whatever you do, and you would slather that fat on there, stick it back in there, and re-season it. It's perfect. That's what it is.
And what's your take on the topic of cast iron skillets, washing your cast iron skillet?
Okay, so that's a whole thing because don't be just
Do we have
washing
time
my
for that?
cast iron skillet with just like soap because you can't. Hot water right away, and you really don't need to do anything else. But if you come in there with some soap, I'm gonna have to.
And how much do you want to scrub it? Because you still want to
You don't need to
maintain the
scrub it.
flavor,
No,
right?
oh,
You
no,
just
no.
rinse it.
It's cast iron, girl. Psh, you're done. Your grandmother knew. That's why it's seasoned, because your food's
Right,
gonna
right,
just
right.
slide right off. So if you take it and you did some bacon, you're gonna put some water in there really quick and take that paper towel. It's clean, and you want to re-season again. And what I always do to keep them nice and seasoned, after I wash them each time, I stick them back in the oven or back on the eye for like a quick second. It gets all the water out of them, and then it kind of seals it again. So mine are always seasoned and ready to go. And I don't let my kids just wash them. And they know, they'll go, I use this pan, they'll have it over to the side. Because the first thing they want to do is take some dishwashing soap.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
I'm like, you
Because
don't-
that'd be my instinct
Right,
too.
you don't have to
Clean
do that.
it.
It's just hot water. Because
Okay.
once it's seasoned, it's sealed in there. The flavor sealed in there. Everything is sealed. All you have to do is just rinse it straight off, and you're good to go. It's the best cookware ever. Eggs slide right off. It's perfect for pancakes. Like, you will never stick.
What if you don't want your pancakes to be flavored savory?
They're not going to be savory.
Okay.
So that seasoning sits in the pan in terms of making it non-stick and more resilient. It doesn't
Okay.
seep into the flavor of your food.
Oh.
It
Okay.
doesn't, even though it says seasoning, it's not like you're gonna have lard eggs. It's not
Okay.
gonna happen. You're gonna have lard pancakes.
That's what I
That's
needed
not
to
what
know.
it means. No, it's just the seal on your pan.